It has been moved and seconded that the association hold its annual general meeting in Kingstown. The chair recognizes the mover of the motion. Frank.
Thank you, Madam President. A review of the possible locations for the AGM resulted in Kingstown being the best location. I urge the members to support that motion.
Thank you. The chair has two other speakers on the list. Betty, you are the first to speak.
Thank you. I support the motion but wish to tighten up the motion by moving an amendment to add the words "with the total cost of the event not to exceed $8,000. May I speak to this, Madam President?
You may, but first let's get a second to the amendment and restate the amendment. Is there a second?
Yes.
Thank you, Marco, who seconds the amendment. So it has been moved and seconded to amend the main motion by adding the words at the end of the motion, quote, "with the total cost of the event not to exceed $8,000. Now, if the amendment is adopted to the main motion, then the main motion will read that the association hold its annual general meeting in Kingstown with the total cost of the event not to exceed $8,000. So we will first discuss the amendment to adding those words. Who would like to speak to the amendment?
Madam President?
The chair recognizes Betty, the mover of the amendment.
An estimated cost of about $7,000. Madam President, the report talks about an estimated cost of about $7,500. The purpose of the amendment is to ensure that by moving the AGM to Kingstown, we won't incur significantly increased costs.
The chair recognizes Marco.
Madam President, I would like to make an amendment, but to the name of the location. Is that appropriate at this time?
Well, we are currently dealing with the amendment to the motion, which has to do with cost, and you want to talk about location, which is part of the main motion. So it's what we need to do is to first deal with the amendment regarding the cost, and then we can deal with the main motion, which deals with location. And then we can hear what you have to say.
Thanks, Madam President, for the explanation. I will wait until Betty's amendment has been voted on.
Are you ready to vote on the amendment? The chair does not observe anyone wishing to speak. All right. So the motion before you is to amend the main motion by adding the words "with the total cost of the event not to exceed $8,000. All those in favor of the amendment, please raise your hands now. The amendment is carried. Now, the main motion as amended now reads that the association will hold its annual general meeting in Kingstown and the total cost of the event not to exceed $8,000. Marco, you're next to speak, and if you want to propose a change, an amendment to the main motion regarding location, this is the time to do this.
Madam President, I move that we add the word Ontario after the word Kingstown.
Well, I think that your amendment is a non-controversial one, since it simply clarifies the location of the annual general meeting as being in Ontario. Is there anyone who objects to adding the word Ontario? All right. Well, there being no objection, the word will be added to the main motion, and it will now read that the association hold its annual general meeting in Kingstown, Ontario, with the total cost of the event not to exceed $8,000. Is there any further discussion? Are you ready to vote? The chair will now take the vote. All in favor of the main motion as amended, please raise your hand. The motion is carried as amended. Thank you.